Welcome to the walkthrough of the Log Insight UI. So, Log Insight is installed. What's next? How do you use it? First, you'll need to have an understanding of the UI and where everything is in order to better utilize its capabilities. After logon, Log Insight will present you with the last screen you had open, or if this is a new installation, it should be redirected to the dashboards page. Let's go ahead and start there. At the top, you have the program name itself. It is clickable and acts as a refresh button. If you look at the HTML code for it, it just points back to the installation of itself. Next, you have the Dashboards button. The Dashboards page is a collection of widgets that is separated into categories. What widgets are displayed is entirely dependent on the content packs that are installed. Log Insight should be connected to vSphere at this point, so at a minimum there will be the General and VMware vSphere dashboards, along with My Dashboards and Shared Dashboards. There are a few more installed, shown since there is a Dell server with an iDRAC remote access card installed and a Synology in the environment. If the General menu item is selected, there are a few dashboards underneath it. In the center pane, there are a number of little squares. These are widgets. Widgets can display a large variety of data which can be represented different ways, numerically, graphically, or text if the widget is a query. Hovering over a widget, there is a small menu on the top right. There are 3 items in that menu, and from left to right, the first one will open up interactive analytics and show you the raw data that is displayed in the widget. The second icon will show you information about what that widget is displaying. The final icon will clone that widget to another dashboard so that you can create a personal dashboard or share it out into a dashboard. Up at the top of the widget pane, there are filtering options available. These will apply to all the widgets underneath. A number of common filters are already provided, but if those won't work, it is possible to add new ones. It is also possible to restrict the time period for the widgets, which is handy when operating in a large environment with lots of logs. Next, at the top, we have the Interactive Analytics button. This page allows you to perform searches on the logs ingested. You can use expressions and additional criteria to filter the data. There is a lot going on with this page. Starting at the top, there is a large bar chart. By default, this bar chart displays the count of all events seen over the last 5 minutes. All log entries in logs is seen as an event by Log Insight. Looking at the bar chart allows you to see the flow of logs as they are seen by Log Insight. This can be manipulated into showing other data, however. The line right below the graph allows you to change what you are looking at and how. It is possible to change the type of graph or chart, since one may not always work best for the data you're trying to display. You can choose between columns, lines, area, bar, pie, bubble, gauge, table, and scalar charts, and set up the axis to best suit the data. Some graph options may be grayed out. This is usually because the type of data that is being displayed can't support that particular graph. Underneath the graph, raw data ingested is displayed. At the top is a search bar where you can type in terms or expressions. You can then refine those even further by adding filters using the +Add Filter button. When you create these filters, Log Insight will offer to autocomplete items or other data found in the logs. Once a query has been created, you can save that query using the star button to create a favorite. This is part of the 4-button toolbar displayed at the end of the search bar. You can use the dashboard icon or the second icon to send that query to either a personal dashboard or a shared dashboard. The alarm button, the third button, allows you to create an alert from the current query or manage alerts in general. The final button allows you to share the query or export the results. Log data itself can be manipulated a number of ways as well. There are 4 options at the top of the raw data pane. There are events, which show every line item as a separate event. There's a field table, which parses all the events out into a table with headers. There are event types, which will move like events into a group with a number at the beginning of the line showing you how many instances of that event exist. And the last item is event trends. This shows a comparison of an event and whether that event is now trending or becoming more frequent, staying static, or decreasing in frequency. It shows this by color coding at the front of the line. Green shows an increasing trend, red a decreasing. Also of note is that you can color code the events to group like items together. At the beginning of the event line, you will see a little gear icon. Click on that to pop up a menu to give you more options. You can track down more events like the one you are highlighting, exclude them, or colorize event types. The Fields pane on the right will allow you to see a graph that will give you information on how prevalent an item is to other like objects and to the overview chart above. Going back up to the top, you have two buttons left. One is Admin, which allows you to see your role, email address, and change your password. The second icon, which looks like 3 lines, is your Administration and Settings icon. This will allow you to change settings and configuration of LogInsight and add content packs for products. There is more information available to explain LogInsight in detail, and I highly recommend learning more about this powerful product and its capabilities from VMware's LogInsight documentation page. And that concludes this walkthrough of LogInsight UI.